So I want to talk a little bit about boundaries, something that I probably struggled with implementing for large chunks of the first part of my self-employed life, where I'd say yes to everything to do with work. It would be a networking event and I'd attend it. It would be another meeting at unsociable hours that I'd arrange and I'd hook up with. None of this necessarily played into the wider business strategy or business success or had any clear sort of definition as to why I was doing it, but it kept me busy. And I think as self-employment started, that was the goal. The goal was to get busy because that's how we proved that running a business was successful. And I think it's a common trap and a pitfall that many busy men, dads, business owners, people in leadership positions, management positions, those that are just busy at work. Sometimes we just get busy for the sake of it because that's how we measure our own success. It's always the first question we ask is, how busy are you? And as long as the answer to that is very busy, we're seen as a success. And therefore it stops us having effective boundaries to help manage the time that we put in to work and business, and therefore how much time we take away from the other parts of our life, usually ourselves first, but then the family, all to pursue work, the professional life, the careers that we have. But in this article that I'm talking about in this video about boundaries, we need to realize that we can say no to certain things, and we have to manage our time more appropriately to satisfy the responsibilities that come in each of the four quadrants of work life, of money life, of family life, and ourselves, because there is only that finite amount of time. And if we give up our calendar and give up our week to the first one that we pay most attention to, which is probably going to be work, then work will take all that time that we give up. So if our calendar at the start of a week or the start of a month is blank, all we're going to do is give all that time up to work. And one of the best things that I did, and it's something that we share in some of our training programs, is make sure you're committing time to other roles and responsibilities first. So what could it look like for you to ring fence in your diary every week or every month, however often it needs to be, the school pickup, the swimming lessons, the hobby that you once had that suddenly got forgotten? Could you ring fence just a few hours a week so you can focus on those responsibilities too? I take my eldest lad swimming every Saturday morning. It's ring fenced in the diary. Nothing can really take that away. I'll be home in time for their tea times 3-4 times a week. There was a time when I first started working for myself where I'd miss bedtimes 3 or 4 times a week. But by realizing that and checking in with myself to see where the time was going, to see where the time was spent, I can effectively make better decisions to put boundaries around and ring fence time, which focuses on other roles and goals and responsibilities. So I have a goal to not work more than 40 hours a week on the tools, as it were. I don't want to work more than 40 hours a week. That will give me more time to be at home, give me more time to focus on my family responsibilities, but also hopefully allow me to focus on outside of work interests for myself, focus on myself. And it's amazing how productive and effective we can be, because the limited time that we give ourselves to work, we can get the best stuff done. Because if we give so much time to work, if we give our whole calendar to work, work will take all the time we give. And it works the same with everything else too, but commonly we speak to people who are just more consumed by work. And yes, we enjoy it. I love my work. I love what I do at work for business, but there has to be a boundary around that, and it has to support the other quadrants, which I set out my business to achieve in the first place. So boundaries are super important. Make sure you are checking in with other responsibilities. And yes, there'll be pressures on peak times and peaks in demand, but counter to that, there'll be troughs in demand where you have to then be okay, surely, to enjoy the other areas of your life if there's the agreement in place that those seasonal demands and pressures will take you away from other responsibilities in your life. So what boundaries do you have? There's an article that I'll put in the comments, or if you're watching this in the article, then welcome. Make sure you take a step back and think about boundaries. There's a 4-step process to building effective boundaries in the article. So make sure you take a step back and look at it and think about what boundaries you have in place. If not, why not? What stops you? What you're afraid of? Share it in the comments. I hope this is helpful, and we'll chat again soon.